Not holding back today.
I'm not holding
As
back.
we talk about whether we should be afraid about your boyfriend or your girlfriend's parents, and specifically maybe the mother, calling immediately you start dating. And one of the questions I had is like, what's wrong with that? But I think we're going to clarify maybe for dating. Let's look at it from both sides. When one is dating versus when one is married. What are the main issues for you?
All right, so let's start here. Fathers hardly concern themselves with who their son is marrying.
Okay, which is not the greatest thing.
We are saying the percentage of fathers talking to your fiance, to their girlfriend, is small. The people who you should watch out for, we are not saying they don't, but they do, but the larger percentage is the mother.
Okay.
Usually it's the mother who is concerned, who is coming to her territory. That other woman who is marrying the son, who the son is getting married to.
Okay.
The moment you start dating and she starts calling you, there are several possibilities and none of them is positive.
Okay.
There's never a good reason
Okay.
for as soon as you start talking to a guy, the mother starts calling you. These are the possibilities. One, she wants to check whether you are controllable. Kama anaweza kukuingiza. If you can fit in her territory, in her pocket, if she can manage you.
Okay.
Okay? She wants to size you up, to test you out. Number two, she could be a domineering woman who has already gotten hold of the son and she wants to get hold of the daughter as well. The other possibility is this boy is incapable and suited for you and they were waiting for any girl to show any interest in her and all of them come quickly to arrest you before you change your mind. They quickly get you in the box. It's a
Like tumekuwa tukingoja sana.
Yes, they know he can't. The moment you know him well, you run. So we are hooking all of us in.
Oh dear,
So many
okay.
times they act like they love you and all that, and it's like they're trying to assist the boy. So whenever you see those calls from mother-in-law to be or the mother to the boy, that's an alarm that there's something off. They're supposed to wait for the relationship to grow vizuri, then you're brought home. If you're brought home now, you start to develop a relationship. They're happy to, hey, welcome to our family. If you eventually you marry, there will still be, now there's a relationship. This is your mother-in-law. We expect now there can be conversations and you develop a relationship. When you're married, it's different. But if as soon as you start dating, the phone calls start coming, run for the hills.
Run for the hills.
Flee. There's something totally off. If the mother of the man starts calling you,
But
knows
sasa,
something.
si kwanza ni huyu mwanaume ndio amepea namba. Let's
Yes.
start there.
And why has he given it away? Something is off. You're being blindsided and hurried to get in.
Is there a timeline to this though? What if they've been dating for like 2 years? Are you talking about the first 2 weeks, 2 months? Or are we
Yes.
talking about like two years into this, they're still dating and then mother amepewa
I know.
phone number?
Let's mention this. Time does not improve relationships. I know guys who have dated for 12 years from 08.
Okay.
But the guy is in America, she's in Kenya, so they hardly meet. So time does not improve relationships. Other people have talked for 2 months, but it's very conk.
Sure.
They have gone deep. So we are talking about, you're supposed to listen to yourself. Is our relationship there yet? That's the question you're supposed to ask, because the relationships evolve at different rates. But you will know when it's time occasionally to hear from the will be mother-in-law checking on you. How are you, my daughter? It's been a while. That's healthy.
Yeah.
But if it's constant and they're trying to mine information or to ask things, unless there's an emergency case, they can't find their son, they're looking for her through you. That's different. But we're saying the moment you begin to receive calls and they're telling you we want to bring ng'ombe, we want to bring the bride price, tell your parents we are coming. That's what they usually talk to. That's what they're calling to say. When can we come? We are eager. We love you here and all that. I've had many girls, they tell me, I had doubts even before I married this guy. Why did you then marry? You know, his family was already into me. They loved me so much. They'd already brought now. So it's a calculated move and it has worked to trap many people.
So hiyo haraka haraka haina baraka.
Haina baraka. But it also works if you're naive. There are many girls who are very innocent and they believe people are loving just like themselves. The people are honest. Those are the prime candidates for this kind of traps. So you're supposed to deal with this man and analyze him because he's the one you're going to deal with. And I hope Joyce one of these days we'll talk about, because currently I'm having parental interference. Having to deal with parental interference a lot.
Okay.
Because today it touches on that. There are mothers who say they don't want a girl from a certain tribe. I'll not
And
bless
if you're
it.
still doing that in this day and age, first of all, shame on you.
Thank you. And you know, it's happening. I've had many girls who told me, I had a very good guy, but he came from the wrong tribe. My parents would just not agree. I tell them, you don't let go of a soulmate. Even if you don't marry that person, you'll never be a child in that home again, in your family again, because you're no longer a child. Even today, just when you go to your home, you still feel like a visitor. You can never fit there back. What if they had prevented you from marrying whom you want? And they tell you, we only want this particular ABCD and prescribing. I tell them to never give up your soulmate because of the tyrannical powers of your parents. So here we're talking about interference by parents, trying to call, and try to put you somewhere or size you up onto something. You're supposed to resist it and expect them to communicate through your boyfriend to tell them, oh, by the way, my people said hi. That would be healthy.
Okay.
Than them coming direct to you.
Hiya. We're going to take a break, and I want to hear what you guys think about this topic here. 22999 once again is the SMS line. And when we come back, I want to turn the conversation also towards marriage, right? So, there are some unspoken rules, like, if you cannot call the daughter directly. Wengine nasikia ati mama anatuma groceries, but it's for the man alone. I don't know how people live. My goodness. But we want to talk about all of those things, and also talk about, how soon should that communication start between, your spouse and your parents. How do you figure out if a parent is already overbearing? What are we supposed to do, Benjamin? How do we correct that situation so that our relationships are not at risk? All of that is coming up shortly after this break. Stay tuned. This is Full Circle with Joyce. Hey everybody, welcome back to Full Circle with Joyce, and here with Benjamin Zulu. And we're talking about relationships. Specifically, if you need to be concerned about, your parents-in-law or potential parents-in-law talking to you now as the girlfriend or the boyfriend. Of course, Benjamin was saying, when that's in the beginning of a dating relationship, there's no positive outcomes from that one, is what you said. Either they're just trying to trap you really quickly because wanajua huyu mtu wao, he has a tendency of breaking things quickly, or it's just really negative in some way. I want us to turn that conversation though to marriage though, and specifically talk about there are maybe no like written rules per se, but how should one spouse engage with their parents-in-law?
There should be, first of all, the gap between a child and a parent. That parent is on the parental subsystem, really. They're like your parents. There should be that respect and distance. So there should not be, maybe that family is enmeshed. You need to check how they relate even before you come in. Maybe you're coming from a family where there were boundaries. We were friends, but there were boundaries. Then you find others, they are so much into each other. We said the other day that watch out if you're going to a family where maybe one parent is missing. It's a single parented family. You need also to check what kind of relationships exist. And Joyce, another time we need to say that when you're marrying a guy who is the breadwinner in the larger family, be very careful. They will scrutinize you if you're coming to cut their supplies. They're coming to interfere with the flow of the issues, they'll be checking you. The only defense you have, whether the parents of the guy are how, it's the man himself. Is he protecting you?
Yeah.
Check whether the man, because many people ask me, oh, my mother-in-law is doing this, what do I do with her? My father-in-law? No, you have no relationship with those people. You don't have a contract of protection from the parents or from the siblings. It's the man who can protect you. So whether the parent is overbearing, or whether he's interfering, or whether she is a she-wolf, a she-bear who can tear everybody apart.
Okay.
And who tries to interfere, like the way you mentioned, some who send groceries from Ushago, but they say it's for the boy, the man alone. And yet you're married.
That's crazy.
You should ask, is this man entertaining that crap?
Yeah.
It's the man who's supposed to protect you.
Yeah.
So sense early, if he's coming from a sick parent, is he himself strong enough to protect you? Because if he's weak, you'll have a misery. You'll be miserable. Never laugh so much that you forget to check whether this man can protect you against interference by the parents. Yeah.
How does one have that conversation? Maybe the guy he's not even self-aware that, look, this is actually pretty messed up. How does one have that conversation for, hey, boss, by the way, I think your mother-in-law is kind of interfering in our relationship. How do you even go there? How do you begin that conversation?
Start it the soonest it comes. I find it rather unusual that your mom called me twice this week. You should bring it up and then discuss to him and tell him there's a dynamic going on among women which you might want to know. that although you're a man, let me introduce you to women thing. That family is a woman's territory. And the women want to check whether the woman who's coming in will be controllable. So I hear him out, whether he's willing to protect you. A good man will tell you, guess what? I'll not allow anybody to stress you. You will come number one in my life. But at the same time, we said love is a choice, it's an emotion, it's a feeling, but that is a concept. You need to check whether this guy says my mother comes number one ahead of everybody. Never marry a fool talking like that. Go marry that woman then.
Guy, okay.
Why do you need somebody else if you already have your man? And do you know, Joyce, there are women who, this man already has a woman in his mother. He's only getting you to get the children, but the authority, the woman in his life is the mother.
Yeah.
Really, you are a prop.
Huyo bado si mwanaume, ni mtoto wa mama.
Thank you. Be very careful with the mama's boys who are in the pockets of the mother, and all decisions are coming from the mother, all the choices are coming from the mother. You are here to bear children and you're almost discarded. You are a prop. Really, you are a honorary.
So mpaka apate hizo grandchildren, that's it. Your work is done.
You are a honorary wife. I've had cases like that where they just wanted children. They had no business with you. And many times they deceive you with the money or they deceive the generosity to get what they want from you. Read whether this man really wants, or whether he's able to individuate away from his mother. Don't come in if they're still enmeshed. You will suffer there. And don't engage the mother-in-law direct. Don't you start exchanging insults and exchanging blows or being a tussle. Never engage your mother-in-law. You have no business, you have no contract.
So akikukasirisha, you don't call the mother-in-law and report him?
No. You talk to the man. That's the man who brought you to the family.
The person you made your vows
He's the one
to.
who's supposed to protect you.
Right.
And I told people the other day, be careful when you live in the compound of the mother-in-law.
In fact, there's a question here like that. Let me just quickly try and find it. Someone is saying, hey Joyce, mine is worse because we live in the same compound with my husband's mom. Nothing I do is right. She's manipulative and doesn't like change. I have a son and I don't want my child to see what happens around here. What should I do?
Deal with your man. Deal with your man. You're describing the mother so much, and yet it's the man who married you. Tell the man that you're uncomfortable in this setting and what can he do about it.
But you know, Benjamin, a lot of the times here in this African setting of ours, we hear, as much as you're marrying, the guy or the lady, that you marry the family as well. Is that statement
You marry
correct?
into the family. You don't marry the family. You're marrying to the family. The man you're marrying is not an island. Neither are you an island also. I will have a relationship with your people just the way you have a relationship with my people. But our personal life should be sovereign, a self-governing unit. We should be us alone. If there's interference from one of our in-laws, the person, if it's your father, you're supposed to deal with him. If it's my mother, I'm supposed to deal with her. I'm asking this lady to confront the man and tell him, hey, I need my own space. I need my own space. And if that man cannot help you, don't engage this woman. You will lose the battle.
Okay.
Because she will get the man to be on her side. And you'll be alone on that other side.
Okay.